other things for his game. I think what's happening is a lot of times in past games, people have, kind of tried to take away Patrick rolling to the basket. He's kind of filling up behind in a lot of our offense. And, he had really good looks tonight. And I thought Vanderbilt did a good job on Patrick. We had to shoot the ball over the top. We at least matched them three-point shot for three-point shot in terms of makes. It took us a few more than in. But obviously that was a big shot up by 2. It was a good look, and I thought Scotty made a really good read on it.
The press in the first half, how did that kind of affect things? And I guess you were trying to wear him down a little bit, but did you feel like he was down?
Yeah, I thought the press was effective. I thought we were disruptive, to start the game. They did a good job several possessions where they beat the press. They got 2 threes out of it. They got a couple drives by Fuller to a dump down to a dunk. So we probably gave up 6 or 8 points in the first half out of the press. But we also turned them over 11 times, and we got the ball 11 times. So it was probably a good trade-off for us. And we wanted to come in and try to be aggressive and just, I got such respect for Kevin and what they do offensively. I think, they're going to come down and they're going to execute their stuff and they're going to get good shots. And if we just come in and just felt like trying to disrupt their flow would be important.
You got a pretty good view of, your offense against your zone in the second half. Where did you see in terms of how you guys were executing?
Yeah, I thought we were okay there. We were okay. We made a couple really good plays where we got the ball down to the baseline of Patrick. He missed a reverse layup. Dorian had the ball in the middle of the zone, turnaround jump shot missed. I thought Frazier got 2 good looks. He didn't make it. We had a couple possessions we got bogged down, but overall I thought the ball movement was good. And I knew when Cornette came in the game, they were going to switch and play zone with him, and I thought he gave them a great lift off the bench. With his threes, that was really the difference in the game. I think we were up by 12, and I think 4 of the next 5 possessions were 3-point shots, and we actually fouled a 3-point shooter. And thank God, I think Parker made 1 out of 3 free throws, which we didn't get hurt too bad on that. But Odom made 1 late in the clock. Cornette made 2 on some screening action. They bumped him back. But Parker's missed free throws kept the game at 4 instead of going to 1. I think we're going to be down to 2. That helped, and I think we came down to 4, then we scored. Maybe got an and 1 and kind of pushed the lead back up a little bit. I thought that series was an important series in the game. And then, I thought Vanderbilt did a great job. They gave themselves every opportunity to, to win the game and put themselves in position for it.
The first game when you become the #1 team in the country like this, is that tough for players to sort of adjust to that feeling of being in that position?
I think maybe more it's made of in terms of the team that's ranked #1, and there's not enough credit or emphasis placed on the opponent getting totally jacked up to play. And for our guys now, we've had 4 of our last 5 games on the road. We've had to go. We've gone to at Tennessee, we've gone at Kentucky, midweek game against Auburn at home, went to Ole Miss on Saturday and Vandy here. And it's been a 5-game grind for our basketball team where you're getting everybody's best shot, and then emotionally you're trying to get yourselves up to play to that level. I would say this in watching Vanderbilt play against Auburn on Saturday. They obviously shot the ball extremely well in the second half, but they played much, much better as a team, I thought, in this game. Maybe being home had something to do with it, but it's more not necessarily how you view it. I think a lot of times teams got nothing to lose. A great opportunity, great situation, get a team coming into your building like that. And our guys need to manage and handle that, from a respect standpoint of what we're going to get from the opposing team. And I told Kevin this after the game, I thought he did a great job coaching. I thought he put his team in every position to win the game. I've got a lot of respect for him. I told him after the game I was happy with Cornette because he's really struggled to shoot the basketball. And Kevin and I spoke several weeks ago, and I told him that I thought the kid was going to be a really, really good player. And he just hadn't knocked down enough shots. And if you go back to the Auburn game, he made a couple there. He's making a couple now. He's going to be a really, really good player. And, as a freshman, I think Kevin's got 2 really good front court players in Jones and Cornette, and they're young kids right now. It's scary to see how good Vanderbilt. Again, I've never seen McClellan play, and obviously I know the other kid, the guard that played last year against us, name escapes me. And I recruited him, Johnson. You put Johnson and him on a team, with some other guys. I mean, Vanderbilt's right in the thick of it, and with what Kevin has done, with this team, they've had some moments, maybe in the road they haven't been great, but I mean, they're right there. And he does a great job utilizing Odom. He does a great job. What he's gotten out of Fuller, is amazing. And, what he's been able to do, how he's been able to develop Jones. Jones is going to be a pro. Whatever that time is, he's going to be one of the better front court players in this league. I mean, you have a freshman right now that's getting about 13 points, 7 rebounds a game. With them being undermanned where they are, I just think that, Kevin's done a remarkable job with this team.
So it's a good game, only shot at what
Yeah. Well, yes and no. The one thing you got to factor in, the thing I look at the most is the DER. At the half, we were out of work the game. At the half, we were 0.83. So you got to factor in the turnovers. Those are defensive stops. Those are possessions where they're getting nothing on that possession. Now, once they set up in the half court, our defense, we had some breakdowns. But they're a hard team to guard. They shoot it from a lot of different spots. They really execute well. Kevin's got a good system. I think it's always evolving and changing based on his personnel. But clearly I thought there was some times we broke down. Quite made some careless plays, like we lost Odom one time coming out of the press. We ran across and tried to trap, which was kind of senseless. They found Odom for a three. Prather fouls a 3-point shooter. Late clock, Odom made a really tough shot. At the end of the clock, we got screened in a couple times. Patrick Young did, trying to give help, and Cornette knocked down a couple threes. But overall, I thought, there's plenty of things we could have done better. But the press was disruptive for at least the first 30 minutes in the game, which I think helped us.
Casey had 4 steals tonight, but also on some drives, and still looked maybe a little tender. How concerned are you about him, or where?
I'm not concerned. I'm just more concerned about it in terms of him trying to let the game come to him. He's trying to create things that are not driving in there, and really with nowhere to go. I thought in the first half he had opportunities to dump the ball off to Patrick, and all you get, and some other players along the baseline, and he's, they're not letting him get to the rim. And this is one of those games where, you got to do other things. You got to almost become a passer or try to create help, give guys some shots. I don't know what he did tonight, but he had 3 assists, which wasn't bad, but with the way Vandy was playing, he could have had a lot more.